when I'm moving. I do like speaking.
You can move.
You can dance while you eat.
I love contemporary stance. Okay, anyway. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Matt, or Matthew, whatever you prefer. Hi. Okay. So, what I'm going to be talking about is family and friend expectations, and kind of how to deal with it, and how you kind of go about dealing with just like your personal life, mainly with relationships with family members and friends. So, so let me start off with my history, my background history, just so that you know where I'm coming from, and kind of relates into my lecture or talk. So, starting from high school, hey, typical Asian, top of your class, did the whole, MASA, AP classes, whatever, Okay, got into UCSD, got in as a pharmacological chemistry major. Okay. After getting in, I found out that, oh shit, competing with many top-notch students coming from high caliber high schools, and found out that it wasn't exactly for me. Okay. During my first year, I was really struggling with the calculus and basically the general ed classes, which wasn't a really good sign. I mean, I was getting B's, C's here and there. Then later on, it started sliding, going into AP, not so fun, and then worked a little harder, and then got out of AP, but still I wasn't the top of the class. Usually, it's like, say, whatever, you should keep on going. But I was thinking, you're competing with really smart students, and you're also trying to get into pharmacy school, medical school, or whatnot, So for me, I was thinking I should rethink where I should be going at this time, just because my grades weren't good, and I started not liking it anymore. I wanted to be a pharmacist when I came to UCSD, but apparently that wasn't the way to go. My initial plan was to get into pharmacy school, graduate and become a doctor in Western medicine. Later on, travel maybe to China and learn Eastern medicine. And later on, after that, kind of fuse the two and do this kind of whole Eastern-Western kind of thing. And open my own clinic, work at a university or something, or whatever, maybe do research and all that stuff. I think we have another person coming in. So that was my initial plan. I was thinking about how long would it take? It would take approximately 30 years if I wanted to get through the whole program. So I'll be old and crippled, maybe 35 by the time I'm successful. So it's kind of sad. So after rethinking about it and thinking of should I continue with pharmacological chemistry or should I change my major? So I was thinking I should change my major. I was looking into human bio, general bio, or just chemistry and all that stuff. I was thinking that over, I was thinking, it's not really for me. So I went full on overdrive and completely changed my major, did a 180 flip and changed it to dance. And coming from a traditional Chinese family, things aren't going to be really good at home. And not only that, I'm not only going to be dealing with mom and dad and brother. I have an older brother. I also have to deal with aunts, uncles, cousins, older cousins, and explain to them why did I change, And coming from a traditional Chinese family, everybody's pretty close. So they're always asking so what are you gonna do? What's your career plan? And going home and saying, I changed my major to dance. And they're gonna be so about that. Before when I got to UCSD, I would tell them that pharmacological chemistry major. It's a mouthful. And they'll say, oh great, you're gonna be a doctor and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, the whole Asian shebang, the whole package. They're all for it. But when I changed my major to dance, everybody like literally went quiet. My cousins stopped talking to me. Parents weren't happy. You know, the whole thing. You know, it was not only that I was dealing with depression and kind of jumping into dance. It wasn't exactly the best thing either. So, as you can see, it was pretty tough for me. You know, jumping into the whole arts field after doing all the sciences and stuff. And not only that, I would also have to deal with how should I explain this to my friends. You know, I mean, friends that always support you. You know, which is a good thing about friends, that they'll always support you no matter which field you go into. But there's also this kind of like, you're also trying to meet your friends' expectations. You know, for me, I was the only dance major within my group of friends. Many of my friends were biologists, engineers, going to med school, So it was a little hard to deal with because they would be talking about biochemistry or mechanics or physics and all that stuff, and I'll be like, and I am a dancer, you know, I am talking about this thing, you know, what is this thing? This thing is something. And they'll be like, what are you talking about? I don't get it. So it was a little hard, but I mean, I got through it little by little. So, why did I change to dance? The reason why I changed to dance was because as a child I've always wanted to do some sort of movement. Not only that, I was thinking, hey, dance also has some sort of relation to health sciences and all that stuff. So I might as well, you know, get the whole artistic side in as well. Maybe, you know, look into the therapy side as well. Also, when I came into UCSD, I joined a martial arts studio. I started doing Tai Chi and Wushu. And I found out that I had a natural talent for movement. Just to let you know, I started my fall quarter here, learning Tai Chi, and then I went to a studio. After 3 months, I got my 3rd level certificate. I don't know what the equivalent is for belt system. But basically it's pretty fast. I learned 3 forms in 3 months, and that usually takes about 2 years to finish. So, and then later on after my 2nd year, I was already a black belt. So, and then 2.5 years, so like 6 more months, I competed nationally and got 4th place. So, kind of see why the whole, you know, shift in study. So I was thinking maybe dance will also help enhance my knowledge with the whole Tai Chi aspects of it. And knowing that Tai Chi is also health related, I was like, okay, might as well, you know, continue on with this kind of path. And I really liked it, I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of stuff that I was getting out of. I was also teaching during that time. I started teaching my spring quarter of my freshman year, so that's also another reason. So, so I had dance, Tai Chi, martial arts, and my science background with me, and yeah, where's my train of thought? So, after changing my major and trying to explain all this to my parents, that Tai Chi, dance, and my science background will eventually help me with my future goals of becoming some sort of, I don't know, doctor, PhD, physical therapist, something like that. I tried to convince my parents and my family that I can still go into the whole medical field with a field in dance, or a major in dance. It was hard, but I finally convinced them, and they would say, okay, whatever, you know, you've already made your decision, just keep going. There was no support. It was quite hard, but you know, you do what you can do. When I told my friends about my career change and major change, they were like, oh, you know, I don't know how I can help you, but good luck. You know, so I know they were supportive, but you know, it was kind of hard to find a clear career path. You know, as I said, many of my friends are going into sciences and engineering and etc. And they know, like, okay, after graduation, you know, you go to grad school or start working or whatever in like a lab or whatever. Dance, however, it's kind of like, after graduation, grad school, maybe, if I want to go to academics, or join a company. Those were mainly your two options. But later I found out that you can branch off into physical therapy, dance therapy, somatic arts, choreography, which was my intention when I changed to dance, becoming a choreographer, and many other fields which I did not know about. So yeah, after about a year or two, my parents were still kind of not pleased with this major change. How did I deal with it? I basically just ignored them and tried to focus on my career path. During that time, I basically did as much research as I could on what I can do with this major. So, yeah. Finally, I started thinking, okay, maybe I should go to grad school and get a master's in fine arts so that I could start teaching at a university. One of the good things with the liberal arts is all you really need is a Master of Fine Arts to be able to teach at a university. Compared to many other majors, you need a PhD. Okay? So kind of lucked out on that. So I was planning to do a little bit of choreography and apply for UCLA's master's program. Why UCLA is because they had a World Arts and Culture specified graduate program where they allow, or they accept people with different movement backgrounds. For me specifically, it was martial arts and Tai Chi and contemporary background in dance, so, which I thought UCLA was expecting, but I'll explain that a little later. So graduation came along. My parents were saying, what are you going to do now? I'm like, I will try to work and apply for grad school. Friends were all for it because after 4 years, I was ranked second place in the nationals. I competed again, got a ton of medals and all that stuff for martial arts competitions. And in the dance program, I was one of the more stronger choreographers. So even though I was competing with my friends that had 8+ years, 15 years, they were dancing since they were like, this tall. So I was able to compete with them on that level. So it was another sign saying that, okay, maybe you should go do choreography and do dance. So I did that. So again, after I graduated, actually I took 5 years here because of the home major change, sorry. After I graduated my 5th year, I started doing a lot of choreography, tried to work as much as I can. But I found out that wasn't possible because choreography really took up a lot of my time. So during that time period, or currently my 2 years off from school and work, I worked as much as I could and did a lot of choreography. I later on submitted my pieces and application stuff to UCLA and applied for their program. I finally heard back from them, and they did not want me, so that was a bit of a bummer. So my parents later on asked me, like, so that didn't work out, now what are you going to do? So I told them, well, I'll try acupuncture. So as you can see, I'm kind of all over the board. So that was also another challenge, which was quite difficult because now my parents are seeing that I'm going from left to right, up and down, all over the place. And it was very, very hard to convince them again, saying that I know what I'm doing, just leave me alone, and I need your support. Because they're my parents, they would do the best financially to support me, but in terms of moral support, it wasn't there. Even my brother wasn't helping either. He was like, you should find a job and go back into the sciences and all that stuff. So as you can see, throughout this entire, ordeal, there's a lot of back and forth with my parents and trying to understand like where they're coming from and what I should do to deal with their nagging and all that stuff, and how to maneuver around that. So how do you maneuver and deal with your parents or friends that would tell you, like, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be going into some other stuff that actually makes something, or a clear career path. What I did was I had to literally stay as strong as possible, make sure I knew what I was doing. I did a lot of research into my field, dance, tai chi, acupuncture, choreography, and try to find out how everything was connected. And how are they connected? Dance, tai chi, acupuncture, some of the sciences, and everything else. They are all related neurologically, somatically, physically, etc., etc., etc. It's hard to explain within the allotted time that I have, but then they are connected through science, arts, therapy, etc., etc. So you can ask me more after that. But I did a lot of research within all fields and try to connect them together. And basically use that to explain to my parents, this is how I'm going to go about with my career path. So after that, they kind of started to calm down a little bit, trying to tell them that I know what I'm doing, give them the research, show them the research, if they understand English. So try to convince them that you know what you are doing. The more that they can see that your career path is clear, then they'll start supporting you little by little. Even though they might not be 100% with you, at least they'll know that you have a set goal and a clear path to go to your career path. So, in terms of friends, usually friends don't really nag you or anything like that. But sometimes I'll get one of those friends that I think, oh, how does that relate? And usually they'll be a little bit more understanding. And same with your parents, just show them, your career path, show them research, let them know what you're doing and how everything connects. So that's basically how you deal with family and friends. If they start nagging you, but like, what are you doing with your life? This is what I'm doing. Here's my research. Here's everything else. You just try to explain to them the best you can. So, yeah. That's it, I guess. Questions?